Hello and welcome to Black Petal Gardening. This is Sia. If you're new to the channel, we are in Oregon, just outside of Portland, and our zone is 8B. And this is one of our first videos. I think we've done about 3 or 4 other ones. And today we are in the process of starting to fill our raised beds, the new ones that we have added to our expansion, our garden area expansion. Um, we will not be finishing getting these all filled up. In fact, we won't even be finishing getting the first one filled up just because the amount of time that we had available was a little bit limited. But we've made some good progress, and here you can see what we're doing. Essentially, we do have 2 raised beds that were here when we purchased the house. And if you saw our tour video, we kind of went by them and showed them off a little bit. Um, they have been in place for quite some time. The level of the soil has absolutely settled, so it's, probably about a foot, maybe. That might be a little too generous from the top. But more so, the issue is that those bins have started to fail a little bit. And we decided we're going to get ahead of that and we will be dismantling them and then replacing them with some new raised beds. Now, obviously, these have some great soil, and that's what we are taking advantage of here because we obviously want to give ourselves the best new start for our raised beds in this expansion area, as well as um, hopefully save a little bit of money because we are using items that we already have on hand. So, um, I decided to make this a sped up video just because I don't think it would be very interesting to watch us doing this labor for 30 minutes. So I sped it up to about a fifth of that time. Essentially, we did find that in moving the dirt, one wheelbarrow load really did have a decent impact on the soil level, and I'll probably speak to that a little bit more further into the video. But yeah, I was really, really pleased with how successful this process has been. And um, once we're done with the amount of work that we were going to do today, um, we hadn't really made a huge dent in the amount of soil in that first bin. So I'm fairly confident that we will be able to probably get 2 bins worth of soil out of this one bin. That might be a little ambitious, but I'm also taking into consideration the fact that we are doing the hugelkultur method and, adding stumps and branches and some other items similar to composting and things like that. Plus, we are planning on having a layer that is specifically uh, the amended soil for richness and stuff like that. So that will also help with the amount of soil needed. But yeah, so I think that's enough chit chattery for me in this little voiceover, and we'll leave the rest of the sped up video to be enjoyed in silence since it was quite windy out when we were doing this, so the natural sounds were not as nice to listen to. But yeah, please enjoy. All right, and here is the end result of our efforts. I think that was what, 3 wheelbarrow fulls. And so we're a little past halfway. The way I'm figuring it, we'll be looking at maybe 5, possibly. Actually, no, because I don't want to necessarily go all the way to the top with this stuff. Now, this looks like it's really good soil. It's been deep in our other original bin, so it's probably fairly fresh. But I want to make sure that at least the 6 to 12 inches, and I counted or measured each of those ribs from the very top to the middle of the rib is about 3 inches. So if we go down 2 ribs, maybe 3, 2.5, and make sure that that soil is really, really rich, filled with compost, worm castings, all the good stuff that a lot of the channels talk about when they're amending their soil, which is a plan that I want to follow. I think that will be good for the crops that we're going to put in. So really that gives us like 1, 2 more levels, and we've been figuring about 1 level up per load. So I'm going to say 2 to 3 more loads coming out of our old bin to bring this up to the level that I would like it to be. And then we can still use some of that other dirt as our base for amending. Um, Obviously, we've got 4 more of these to do, and I know there's a sticker on this, but we are using a whole lot of different things to fill. This one needs some more actual stumps in it, and we haven't actually put anything in either of these. Now, I don't know if I showed you guys, but we did start off really at a advantage because I took the dirt that was in 2 of the Greenstalks, minus 2 layers, so 8 layers total between the 2 of dirt, and dumped it in here. So that gave us a really kind of good start as far as what we were building on top of, along with the logs, et cetera, that we put in. We're not going to have that advantage for for the other bins, but the fact that we do have 2 used and older raised beds that have a lot of really, the soil looks really, really good to me. Of course, I'm not an expert, so I could be fooling myself with that, but the fact that we do have that as a method to help fill these bins, it definitely puts us at an advantage, and it'll be really, really helpful for our pocketbook, and what we're going to have to purchase to augment the fill as well. I think we were kind of calculating that it would take 6, maybe probably 12, 6 to 12 bags of the 2 cubic feet soil to do a layer to get up 1 rib. So that's a guesstimate. One of the plans is to buy 12 and do it on this bin over here so that we can get a good idea of where that lands us, because that one doesn't have anything in it, and that'll kind of let us know what we need to purchase. But yeah, so I'm very, very, very excited that we are this close to being where I would like us to be, because my goal is by mid-March to end of the March to have something up and ready to go so that I can do my onion starts, because those are, or my onion sets, because those are the first things that I like to get into the ground. I would also like to get some of my peas in, and Still need to kind of figure out where and how we're going to put the green stalks on this area. Trying to get a little bit, oh, excuse me, it's kind of cold out here, so I'm sorry about my nose noises. I'm kind of thinking along here, but then the sun comes from this direction, and that would definitely add shadows. So the other option would be along here, and you can see my little tripod-y thing. And that might be an opportunity. It would create shadows as we get into the later afternoon during the summer. So, of course, the final potential option being along here. But again, then that could possibly shadow our little trees. I don't think there's any perfect location just yet, so I'm going to have to kind of bite the bullet and just make a decision on where they're going to go for this season, and see how it works. I think I am going to lean towards here, either here or well, I suppose if we're talking about afternoon sun, that's usually when it can get to be the hottest out in the summer. So maybe having a little bit of shade. I mean, it would be a little bit. In the front here wouldn't be so bad. So I could do it in the corner, one in the corner, maybe one right here, because I don't want to block this path too much. And then one over on the corner over here, so that we keep the movement paths around here pretty on point. And to do that, what I'll probably do is I want to get, some 12 by 12 pavers, probably 4, and then we could set it in the middle of those 4, and that hopefully we could get those nice and level, and so we won't have any issues with tilting, potentially falling or anything like that. Yeah. Okay, so, but getting at least one of the green stalks up is going to be important for, end of March as well, because I want to get the beans in. And if we can get 2, then I can potentially finalize my idea on whether I truly, truly want to do an entire green stalk of strawberries. Yeah, I feel like we've been pretty productive for today. Even though it really wasn't a lot of time spent, I think it was time spent well, and that's always nice. That's always helpful. So I am going to get out of the rain. We are going to start making some dinner. It's still kind of early in the afternoon, but Scott needs to go to work, so getting some dinner up and going before he has to leave is the plan. And on that note, thank you for watching. I hope you have a fantastic afternoon, day, evening, whenever, wherever you are. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.